But I'm assuming most of y'all in here came today because you want to grow and you want to learn and you want to move on and you've got some good stuff already. And so I'm going to be coming from a little bit different perspective. And my perspective isn't that I've owned or ran a lawn care business. It's that I've worked with thousands of organizations in 49 states over 30 years. I have met and interacted with hundreds of thousands of people. I meet a lot of people. But the nature of your work is you see the same people over and over again every day, right? I meet different people everywhere I go. Every day I meet dozens of new people and I talk to them. Hey, tell me about yourself. And you know what? I've met thousands of happy people that love what they do and they have good relationships and they're positive about the future. I've met thousands of people like that. When I meet them, I'm like, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your life. And they do. They're like, ah, bah, 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 bah. And you know what's interesting? Different parts of the country, different accents, different ages, different genders, different skin colors, different first languages, different religions. But when I meet somebody who's happy, they all talk about the same kind of things. I also meet in my travels. I've met tens of thousands of deeply unhappy people. I meet people that are unhappy and they don't like their life and they don't get along with their coworkers and they have horrible relationships and they have nonstop drama and they're not positive about the future and they don't like who they see in the mirror. I meet a lot of people like that, thousands every year. And you know what? I talk to them. Hey, tell me about your life. And they do. And you know what's interesting to me? Different parts of the country, different accents, different ages, different genders, different skin colors, different religions, different countries of origin. But unhappy people all talk about the exact same things. Does that make sense? And so I've seen patterns over time. People who are winning, people who are losing, people who are thriving, people who hate their lives. I work with organizations that are growing like crazy and, oh my gosh, we can't even have some organizations that are a hot mess, that are in lawsuits, coworkers punching each other. I've worked with some of the very best organizations in America and some of the very worst. And so I'm just going to share some ideas based on the things that I've observed to get your wheels turning and get you thinking a little bit about maybe how you could do some things a little bit different. A lot of you, it's been my observation that what first drew you to this business is you could get on a lawnmower and put on some headphones and not have to talk to anyone. Just on that zero turn. Who'd you talk to today? Nobody. Right? Anybody that you kind of like that? Your little alone time, little solitude, get on the mower and just ride and look at those stripes. Oh, it's glorious. And then what you figure out real quick is you're never going to make any money without a team of people. Oh, now I got to interview people and I got to train them. And oh, you got to find some customers. How are we going to do that? Oh, I got to talk to them. And so I do a lot of training on communication skills, and I think this audience needs it as much or more than anyone. What if you got twice as good at mowing lawns? Who's pretty good at straight stripes, mowing lawns? You're pretty good at that. What if you got twice as good at it? Would your sales and profits and revenue double? No. What if your lawnmower blades got twice as sharp? Would your sales and profits and revenue double? What if your truck's got twice as clean? What if you got twice as good at communicating with customers and people on your team? Is it possible that your sales and profits and revenue might double or triple or quadruple? Yeah. Yeah. And yet that's the thing that people don't want to do. They're like, teach me some more of the economics. Give me more of their system. And I'm like, yeah, that stuff's important. It really is. But I think the real tipping point, if you want a radical change quickly, is for you to focus some of your energy on communicating better. Right? Because you guys aren't in the lawn business, you're not in the landscape business, you're not in the contracting business, you're in the people business. Because there's not a lawn that's going to hire you. It's people who are going to hire you. Does that make sense? What is winning the result of? You've heard this word a lot today, right? Mindset. How you think. I love when Mark was talking about a growth mindset. You guys all know what that means? Carol Dweck, who's a professor at Stanford University, wrote a book called Growth Mindset. And the idea is that every person in the world has either a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset thinks that they are the way they are and they're not going to change. Somebody with a growth mindset looks at abilities like muscles that can be developed and grown stronger. And they're more optimistic, and they handle failure better because failing just looks like falling down, and you get up and you failed forward and you move along. And so that growth mindset, I think, is super important. So part of it. Anybody here for the first time, never been to an LAL before today? Where's the first timers? You may be a little frustrated that you keep hearing about attitude and mentality and loyalty and serving others and making a difference. And some of you are like, show me how to make money. That's why I'm here. I don't need more friends. I need money. And I get if you feel like that. But I'm telling you, you've heard it over and over again today, that the path to making the money long term and keeping the money is through the relationships and through the mindset. So that's the stuff that we're going to focus on here today. It's good to be a maverick, but you're going to need a herd, right? You guys all heard the term maverick before, right? Here's the dictionary definition of maverick. Tell me if this describes you. Because I would say this describes me. If you describe someone as a maverick, you mean that they are unconventional and independent and do not think or behave the same way as other people. Show of hands if that describes you. Yeah, me too. Right? I like being a maverick. Synonyms: rebel, radical, individualist, nonconformist. I'll get all those tattooed right on my arm. I'm all in for that, right? But there's this weird dichotomy, right? That to be in business for yourself, you got to be a rugged individual and do things your own way. But you also have to be really effective working with teams. Your business enterprise will rise or fall based on your ability to build and grow a winning team. If you can't do that, you're never going to make it in this business. If you can do that, you're on the path to winning. One of the seminars I do for corporate America settings all the time is called, are you a scorekeeper, a referee, or a coach? And I draw these comparisons, 3 different jobs at a college basketball game. Being a scorekeeper, what skills are required to be a scorekeeper? You just got to keep track of what happened. How much does that job pay? Do you know? Nothing. It's a volunteer job. You know why it pays nothing? Because anyone can do it. That's the lowest level. I see people in corporate America all the time that they got a manager role and all they really are is a scorekeeper. Keep track of who came in late, who got their paperwork done on time. That's the lowest level of leadership, if you can even call it that. What about a referee? Would you agree that's a harder job? Right? You got to be good at some things like knowing all the rules and running up and down the floor and, calling plays fairly and, dealing with a lot of criticism, right? And so that job pays more. I think NCAA basketball game pays like $1,000 a night to be a referee. That's not too bad because not everybody can do that. It takes some skill, takes some work, takes some experience, takes some wisdom. But there's 2 people in every college basketball game that make more money than everyone else in the building. The head coaches, right? To be a good head coach, it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. You got to know all the rules and be good at a game plan and analyze your opponent and come up with a strategy and be good at recruiting high school kids to come to your college and be good with the media when you're on TV and be good with the alumni. It's incredibly difficult. And so that's UConn's coach. I think he makes $8 million a year. because there's just not that many people in the world that have those kind of skills. But I think that's a good way to look at what you're doing. If your business is big or small, that you're the coach. Part of your job is recruiting. Part of your job is making a game plan, creating culture, getting people on the team to work together and to get along, right? All of that is. If you're looking for employees you can trust, here's how you do it. Step number 1, work on becoming a person other people can trust. Because you attract what you are, not what you want. Here's a fill in the blank truth. For people to trust you, you need to be trustworthy. Are you trustworthy? Are you honest? Do you follow through on the things that you do? Are you fair? Are you predictable? Do your employees not know which version of you is going to show up tomorrow? Happy you or angry you? Here's how you know it's a problem. They go, I want to ask Lamont, but I'm going to wait and see if he's in a good mood. Uh-oh. That's a red flag. It's a leadership problem. I said that at a conference in Oregon, and this lady goes, oh, so now that I'm a manager, I lose the right to have a bad day? I go, yeah, there you go. Suck it up, buttercup. Put a smile on your face. Have a bad day when you get home. Because if you bring your drama from home to work, everyone else is going to do the same thing. Big corporate executive in Idaho, this big potato company in Idaho. This guy makes millions of dollars a year, got promoted to be the president of this company, but he came out of finance, not through sales, and so he wasn't very good with people. The CEO said, you need to get they hired me to give some training to this guy about communication because he just doesn't connect with people. And you know what excuse he gave me? I hear it all the time. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I said, well, you don't know much about leadership or communication. Your job isn't to make them drink. Your job's to make them thirsty. You can't change people, but you can communicate them in such a way that makes them want to change, makes them want to do better. I found personally the best way to do that is with compliments and encouragement and recognizing them when they do something right instead of correcting them when they do something wrong.